me going to auth with Zoom, and that's like my account. And then the next one is YouTube, and that doesn't go to me. That goes to all right. Cool. So let's go ahead and get started. Aguirre said he is going to join here in a minute, so I'll bring him on. Let me go ahead and pull up the list of things. Agenda items. So before we get into that, we've kicked off the first cohort, and we have had a few onboarding meetings. Ahmed and I have had 2 mentorship sessions. We actually 3 now. The first one we got together and we took notes, but I failed to capture a recording. I thought I had it recording, but I, for whatever reason, it didn't get recorded. Second meeting, I did record, but I haven't put that up on YouTube yet. And then this week, our Ahmed wasn't feeling well, so instead of doing a video chat, we did just a text chat, and had our discussion that way. So that's been really nice, and I'm feeling good about the objectives that we're setting, and kind of the example that we're setting, I guess, through doing that. So AJ, you've been on the other kickoff meetings. How have those been going?
I have. They've gone well. I believe we've done 3 so far. And they got progressively slightly better each time, I think.
There you go. Practice. Yep. So what sorts of questions are folks asking as they're coming on board? Are there any patterns that you're seeing in terms of ways that we can prep folks better? Or
well, I think we did a really good job picking our mentees because there hasn't been a lot of questions. They seem to just kind of jump right in and be ready to go and know what they want to do, and it's more of just like letting the mentor and mentee figure out how they're going to do what they're going to do. We haven't really, we obviously explained the process at the beginning, but there hasn't been much questions, or either that or we're covering the process so well that they don't have any questions after we're done. But
okay. Either that or they're bored and not interested in listening to our.
Yeah, I don't get that impression. I think everyone specifically mentioned how excited they are to be.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. I think we have a really good cohort, and I from the chat that I had with Ahmed, I think we are going to have an interesting challenge since we do have such good pairings, what seemed like very productive and happy pairings with our 1 month cohort timeline. The current hope is that in that month, a few of our more experienced mentees will be able to convert into mentors and help the next cohort. And I think we should be discussing how we handle or get looking for feedback on how we handle the situation where maybe that mentor mentee pair wants to hey Gary, I've got my sharing open. So how that mentee mentor pair handles if they want to go and continue collaborating together, what we do with that.
Yeah. Right. A personal opinion of mine is I think we should be hands off as much as possible. Anything that's okay with both the mentor and mentee should be fine with us.
But, right. Yeah, I'm with you there. There we go. Sorry, Gary. The there's hands off, and we can always empower people to go off and do their thing independently. My thought is more along the lines of, do we continue encouraging them to do that mentor-mentee relationship in
like officially
in the context that officially, right.
Yeah,
they're kind of they would kind of be breaking the mold of the cohort,
right.
But
and then I could see a situation where that could cost us a mentor for the next round. They're like, well, I really only want to work with one person, and we're still doing our thing, so I can't do this round.
Yeah, so we'll just have to get feedback from folks and see where they're at, and explain to them that we absolutely want to find ways to empower and enable more mentors. But if folks aren't ready to mentor, then what then? Do they go to the back of the queue, or do they get to keep their mentor? That's right. the I don't have a good answer for that yet.
Right. I will say, I think at least two of the people we've met with, which it's been a crazy last few weeks for me, so we may have actually only had 2 meetings. I know we scheduled 3.
Okay, right.
Scheduled 1, so maybe we only had 2 kickoff meetings so far.
Got it.
But I know 2 people have said that they were interested in mentoring after graduation. So that's looking favorable.
Great.
For the growth of the program over time.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, just as long as folks feel like they've graduated in the short cohort that we're running. Yeah, that's what's got me concerned. Okay, so let's see. Starting from the bottom.
Can we start with one thing that's not on the agenda?
So I don't forget? Do it.
It's related to what you just said. The short duration of the program right now. The way the kickoff meetings have happened, they've been so far like a week apart, and we haven't even done some. So we're not gonna the month of the program is going to be kind of staggered. So what are we going to do about that, I guess?
So
I guess we could let the early ones just go longer than a month, and it'll be a month from the last kickoff meeting.
Right. We will also have a bandwidth challenge as the mentorship team in getting folks kicked off. So the fact that folks in a cohort are staggered is probably going to align with our needs in terms of who we can offboard, right? Sort of come to a closure, how things go, get folks feedback, and invite them to come and mentor, and then we would have basically availability and space to continue to start a cohort number 2 group, and go through and do that selection. I guess in the interim, this month, we should probably continue our outreach for mentors throughout the project. Right. We're going to continue to need more folks there, since our pipeline of mentees is so big.
Yeah, I'm hoping the video recording will help some with the backlog to keep people from losing interest completely.
Sure.
So far, both of the meetings that I recall, they were both fine with recording their sessions.
Oh, cool. Nice. Awesome. Yeah, that's been fun. Okay. And this is the issue that I dealt with. Oops. Right. I guess there's the working after graduation. And maybe this is a better question for Ahmed. Do we have a sketch of what graduation looks like?
Right now, we don't. We're kind of calling it an ungraduation right now. We're just we've tried to set goals accordingly to the duration right now. So I think both of the people so far, one person had a kind of more specific thing that they wanted to pursue, and we told them, maybe they could do that after graduation. But I think the idea for now is during that 1 month to just try to kind of get them onboarded onto the working group, getting, experience a few meetings and feel comfortable doing meetings enough that they could, show somebody else what that's like.
Right.
And mentor, at least in that capacity of getting someone onboarded into the working group.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if, we'll need to do any, specific training or, because they'll have experience going through, the process of becoming, being a mentee. We should probably schedule some sessions in there where it's just us talking about the mentor process. So they're getting the opportunity to share, how their mentorship went, both from the perspectives of the mentee and the mentor. And just do some context and data collection. That'd be good.
It'd be cool if we had kind of like a mentor class for like postgraduates to just prepare them for mentoring, since they have been under the guidance of a mentor, but they haven't done any actual mentoring themselves yet. It'd be cool if we just had some tips and guidance on how to go from mentee to mentor.
Right. We could try to make that formal, or we could do a roundtable, with some of our more experienced mentors, get Conrad and Ben and myself on, and just start from there, and maybe distill down from that feedback something that's that we would make repeatable in future sessions, right? So not every time we would do that sort of roundtable meeting, but we can bootstrap the content for those future sessions by just doing a roundtable with some of our subject matter experts.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Can you take an action item of scheduling a roundtable towards the end of this cohort?
Sure.
Awesome.
And should we? Who would be involved with that? I know you mentioned like yourself and Ben and some of the experienced mentors. Would there be other, like the mentees as well?
Yeah, I think everyone should. Everyone that's participated in the first cohort. Okay. And potentially, do I want to bring in folks that are interested in the second cohort? Maybe. Definitely the mentors.
Yeah. I think it'd be maybe good to keep it focused on mentoring, like as a mentor. Or at least that's what I was talking about earlier is, because like in these meetings, for instance, I attended all of them, and then I was asked to lead one time before, and I tried to lead, and I was like, okay, this is totally different. Just being in the meetings doesn't actually tell you how to lead them at all.
Right.
The thing about being a mentee is like, oh, I've been a mentee. I was there for all the mentoring process, so I should be able to do it now.
Right.
And they find it's not as common sense as they thought.
Right. But that leads me to be inclined to invite the mentees in cohort 1. Right. So mentees of cohort 1, mentors of cohort 1, and mentors of cohort 2.
Sure.
And there's going to be a lot of overlap. Okay. I think maybe the Venn diagram of cohort 2 mentors may be entirely the cohort 1 mentors and mentees. But we can always hope.
Is there a limit, or what is the limit of attendees in a Zoom meeting?
I think, we're leveraging, we need to, when we consider that, we need to look at the free tier. And I think it's primarily time limited. So there's a 45-minute time limit for Zoom free tier. And then it's 100 for the pro.
Oh, okay. For the pro. Okay.
Pro, right? Yeah, for when you start paying. Let me look that up. Yeah, so it's still 100.
Oh, okay. So we're good.
Up to 100, unlimited one-on-ones, 40-minute on group meetings.
Yeah, we actually ran into that on one of our kickoff meetings. But it did give us a countdown, so that was nice.
Okay, that's good. And we're
so we're like, and we've got 3 minutes, so let's speed up here.
Right. Well, I think 40, 45 minutes is a pretty reasonable.
Long as you know you've got that amount of time.
Right, the clock's ticking, from the beginning, right?
Well, I'm thinking about since we also don't have an issue for the meeting this time. Do you have a tab open somewhere with YouTube to check for comments on the stream?
Do I have a what?
A tab of YouTube open somewhere to check for comments on the stream?
Oh, no, I don't.
We added that to the issue so that we wouldn't forget, but now we don't have an issue.
Nice. Right. Okay. Let me. I always I close it, and this is gonna get meta.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome. We have a discussion. Hi, folks. Oh, come on. I'm gonna have to sign in, so let me go off this page. Okay. Okay. So let's move on to the next issue.
All right. This one was mine. I didn't have time to make a description for it. So
okay.
It's basically I was having a discussion with Ahmed, and we realized there was a gap between the code of conduct and what we totally expect in the program. Like we could be dissatisfied with someone even if they didn't break the code of conduct. For things like not showing up to a meeting, for instance, like the kickoff meeting, we had to reschedule one because someone didn't show up. So in those situations, how do we handle that? What are there consequences? What are those consequences? That was just there as a reminder to figure that out. We don't have to do that now or later, but
yeah, no, let's definitely go there. So missing a single meeting.
This one was a little different because it was a kickoff meeting. So we had, Nick invited multiple team members, the mentee. It was like we we'd filled out a doodle to figure out when everybody could make it.
Right.
All right, great. We have a date. Let's make it. And mentor's not here, so we can't really do anything. So let's all reschedule again. So,
Right. Yeah.
And that's just an example, I'm sure we'll run into more things that aren't covered by code of conduct.
Right. Yeah. So there's, kickoff where we're aware, and then there's, other sessions where it's just the mentee and the mentor, and, they, we definitely need to provide a path for both parties to share that context. I think we should encourage
flexibility.
Well, flexibility, but like active sharing of the misses there, right? So if we aren't encouraging folks that when they schedule it, they're creating an issue and putting things on GitHub, then we could have one of our mentor-mentee pairs get stuck in an endless cycle of rescheduling and without any recourse. Right. And without any awareness for us as as the facilitators here. So I definitely think that there's a little bit of shaming goes a long way sometimes, and by making sure that we encourage our participants to go ahead and post that context of you couldn't make it, and if you can't make it, share why, even if it's crap, I messed up. Right. Yeah. Like that is an acceptable, an occasional reality. But if it's chronic and, you're not engaging with your partner, then, hey, like we need to, to be able to step into and intervene. And, I just worry if folks aren't posting, that context, then we won't have any basis to intervene.
Right.
So yeah, I'll have to look at, I wonder what, go back to this screen. So we met this week, didn't post. So, we would just, one of the mentor-mentee pairings, should post for every session. And, if someone doesn't show up, it would be expected that you would post to your journal diary. Okay, let me get back in here. Okay, the education assistant and the administrative assistant, is this an active issue, or is this something that we dealt with earlier and just stayed on?
I'm not sure about that. Let's see.
It's been about a month since we've engaged with the EA and
yeah. Well, he's been involved. He's been in the kickoff meetings with us.
Awesome.
But as far as this actual document, if it's been that long, I would guess that it's probably outdated by now. I haven't, like I said, I've been a little unavailable this week, but I
Sure.
know in Slack they've been referencing a document with some feedback about this kind of stuff.
Great.
Uh, so there may be a separate document going now that might be more, or this could be it for all I know. But yeah, so I can figure that out after the meeting,
Okay.
and I'll close it if it's no longer needed.
So there's the kickoff meeting outline.
I would like to note that I would like to expand on the process bullet point there at the top, because I'm supposed to start leading some of the kickoffs, and that's the part where I've been trying to watch Ahmed, and he
Right.
covers a lot of stuff right there, and I'm like, I want to make
Right.
sure I cover all that stuff, but I don't feel like I would right now. So if I had a thing to go by there, break that down one more level, I would feel a lot more comfortable leading.
Would it be beneficial to try to create, some slides out of that, or is the context that we need in the README, and we just leverage the README, and walk everybody through, that sort of the source of truth?
A slide show would be useful, but in the interest of time, I think a bullet list would work just as well for now. And I think we've probably got most of it covered in the documentation. That would definitely be something to look over and see if we have any gaps there and fix them if there are. But I'll try to work with Ahmed over the next week or so to get him to help me break that out and
Cool.
do that.
Okay, so we have a couple questions in chat. Any other topics can drop into chat. I guess I can put this up on the screen if I drop it in the other window now that I've logged in. So hi everybody. Looking at the questions there. So if you want to learn Node.js, oh God, video's playing. So if you want to learn Node.js, there is a repo in the Node.js project called Getting Started. That is designed to help folks learning the Node.js platform. The Node.js mentorship team is primarily focused on helping folks that potentially have a little bit more experience with Node.js, and they're definitely interested in some capacity engaging with the Node.js project, whether that's the technical project or the community project through the community committee. And this mentorship initiative is organized through the community committee to help folks get involved with Node.js. So our ability to sort of just help folks start from zero with Node. This isn't quite the the best forum for that yet. Though I can definitely see us in the future, allocating more resources there. We're at the beginning of a probably quite an extensive journey. We have our first cohort, which is seven individuals, seven pairs. I think that's close. Anyway, less than 10. Mentee mentor pairs, and there are and a backlog of about 500 folks looking to get involved with the Node.js project. So we slowed down taking any new submissions for mentees and mentors, and just to help folks make that initial decision of is this the place to get started with building my Node.js skill set. For now it is not. It is the place if you're looking to get involved with the Node.js project and collaborate with mentee with another collaborator in the Node.js project. This is what Node.js mentorship is all about. Okay, and then prerequisite of Node.js would be prerequisite. Let me reframe the question. The prerequisite of Node.js mentorship to become a mentor, one must be involved in the Node.js project and be a member of the Node.js project, which means having some activity, whether that's community committee, like AJ, joined the project through the community committee by contributing there and collaborating. Did you have any collaborator touch points before ComCom?
No, I kind of simultaneously joined the mentorship and started championing the wishlist initiative right at the same time.
Right. So yeah, AJ, for example, joined earlier this year, and become a member of the project by participating, working through creating an initiative. So the wish list was an initiative that AJ championed and has been working through, and joined this team to help out, and has been instrumental in getting this process kicked off. So those are the individuals that are kind of the prerequisites for our mentors, and for our mentees. It's a pairing process that we go through. Folks are volunteering, and we in this particular cohort, we've tried to find a specific area to focus on, rather than letting things be too open-ended. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to do? We've preferred to scope our engagements to a specific area. For example, Ahmed, Bamai, and myself are doing a mentorship around the community committee. I specifically am interested in, so I'm a more senior member of the community committee. Ahmed is junior member, and kind of the creator and instigator of the mentorship group. And I wanted very much to sort of help Ahmed feel comfortable with running this initiative on his own. So that's what we're focusing on. Then AJ, I don't recall off the top of my head the folks that we've onboarded. Ben is doing build, right, or debugging?
I know he's doing two different scopes. I think it's test and build. Got it.
And in the technical scopes, we have test, build, internationalization as another scope.
V8 modules.
V8 modules.
Diagnostics.
Diagnostics, right. Some discussion between our mentor and mentee about time travel debugging. And that is not the end user experience, but that is specifically on how you're implementing the internals of those systems inside of Node.js.
I want to point out too, this first round is not necessarily 100% representative of what later rounds will look like, because a 1 month duration could,
right.
I mean, a 6 month duration, for instance, could give us a whole lot of room to do way more than we're doing now. So,
right. Yeah. So, we since we're bootstrapping this, we, have a greater need for mentors, and also, we just need experience in, we as the mentorship team need more experience in helping manage our mentors and mentees. So, we're starting with basically shorter sprints, so we can get more experience in managing for the longer ones.
Also, we're looking for, in the early rounds, prioritizing people who are willing to give detailed feedback on their experience, and also people who are interested in becoming mentors, so that we can grow the program. And since the question was a little open-ended, the what is prerequisite of Node.js, if they're asking as a end user, I guess it would just be a knowledge of JavaScript, right? To use Node.js.
Sure, knowledge of JavaScript, is one area. Yeah, I mean, Node, kind of runs on pretty much anything, and getting things set up and just like running a simple Node application. I've been able to run Node on some pretty crazy stuff. There's not a lot that is required for getting past Go. But yeah, definitely the main way that you're building and running Node.js applications is through JavaScript, and so you would be well served by really investing in your JavaScript, understanding of JavaScript. And my experience, as a full stack developer, is that Node development exercises a lot more of your JavaScript muscles than typical sort of front end framework development, where oftentimes you're staying in the API surface area of the framework, and instead of really using the language everywhere to produce. All right. Well, that looks like we've covered the questions. Hi, Harsh. Hi, Nuranjan.
We got one question above that about Node.js and ASP.NET.
Okay, it's a bit off topic. Do you want to touch on that?
I have no experience with ASP.NET, so I'm okay with leaving that one unanswered.
Right. I mean, it's a bit off topic. Anuranjan, real quick. I would prefer if I was an engineering manager in the situation of choosing between the two technologies to deliver a solution, I'm going to choose the technology that my team has the most understanding on. So if the team is experienced in JavaScript and understands JavaScript, then you're going to deliver a better quality solution and leveraging that tool. And if folks are more experienced in ASP.NET and know how to deliver solutions there, you're going to be able to deliver the solution better there, faster, probably. So humans tend to be the hardest part of the technical problem, not the actual technology. And if you're experienced in one platform or the other, don't assume that because you're proficient in one platform you're immediately going to be proficient in another platform because you are potentially learning a completely different language, in your journey to solve the problem.
And again, here we're just kind of guessing at the context of some of these questions. So I guess if he's asking from the standpoint of someone who knows neither of those yet and is trying to figure out what to learn, I would say do a very simple project with both and just see whichever one you like best if you're not working on a team, and go with what you're more comfortable with.
Right. Yeah. Like, for example, I never, really got comfortable with Python. I grew up on, C-based languages, with JavaScript and then Java, and then C++ and C. I just, those are that language structure makes a lot of sense to me. And, Python was just always, working against the grain in terms of my mental models. And, for whatever reason, I never felt comfortable there. Where, even, more esoteric platforms like PHP and Cold Fusion, felt more comfortable there, but like I just never C# I loved. It was great, but again, that's like C# is kind of Java plus. So yeah, I think it's a great suggestion.
Don't be afraid to step out into something unfamiliar, because I got my start in QBasic, and I'm really glad I didn't stick to the basic languages for the rest of my career.
Right. right on. Yeah. Your ability to, solve more complex problems, is, definitely an indicator of, velocity. And, JavaScript has been, the language where the time from ideation to realization, has been, the shortest for me. Java the longest. The time from I have an idea to, I have a fully baked solution, just painful. All right. Well, I'm, you bet, Anaranjan. So, thanks for the questions. Keep coming in. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up because I have a hard stop and a meeting at the top of the hour. So, Akshat, I apologize. We're going to have to wrap up the stream. Thanks for joining the chat today, and thanks everybody for watching. And AJ, great to see you. Have a nice week.
You too. Thanks.
Take it easy. Bye.
Bye.